All right, I got a nice little 9mm gold dot roundup comparison for you guys here today. So what I have here, these are all different, but these are all 124 grain 9mm gold dot. Okay, so I have the standard pressure 124 grain, which is advertised at a velocity of 1150 feet per second. Obviously that's going to be out of a full-size pistol with a 4-inch or longer barrel. We're using a Taurus G2 today with a 3.2-inch barrel, so velocity should come in a little under advertised, but I like to use these subcompacts because it's what most of us are concealed carrying. So then I have the Plus P right here, and you guys may notice that this is the newer packaging, whereas this is the older packaging. But I do firmly believe there is no changes other than the packaging. So some of you might be led astray by thinking that these are different because now they have the new ones, new packaging, whatever. But the SKU number, the product number there, 53618 on this older style box here is the exact same number as on the newer ones. Same goes for the Plus P offering and this one in the middle here, which is a short barrel. So the SKU numbers or the product numbers or whatever you would call that, they match whether it's the older box or the newer box, so they should be the same. Generally, if there's a product change other than just the packaging, they will change the part numbers. That way they can distinguish between the two. So even though these are older boxes, it should be the same product as the newer packaging. By the way, advertised velocity on these Plus P, again, it's going to be from a longer barrel, is 1220 feet per second. Now over here, I have the short barrel ones, okay? So these are intended for use in shorter barreled guns like carry guns. So they are supposed to perform better in shorter barrels because a lot of times if you use something especially smaller than this, you'll have poor expansion and performance and whatnot from the shorter barrel because it's not achieving high enough velocity to get the expansion and whatnot that's desired. So a lot of companies, they make a short barrel version, which is what this one is. It is Plus P, but that is the only offering they offer for the short barrel version, okay? And advertised velocity on this one, you got 1150 on standard, 1220 on Plus P. Advertised velocity on this one is 1150, even though it's Plus P, but I think that's because they're rating the velocity for a shorter barrel. Now, generally what they do in the short barrel versions, and I'm just speaking for all companies in general, either the bullet has a slightly different design so that it'll open more reliably under lower velocities, and or different powders in it so that they can achieve different burn rates and thus higher velocity in a short barrel. Sometimes it's a combination of the both, sometimes it's one or the other. But that's what I got for you guys here today. Should be a really fun and informative video. So I'll be shooting into this Knox 10% Ballistic Gelatin. This is always temperature controlled by me. On warmer days, I'll bring it in an ice chest on ice. Optimal temperature for this is 39 degrees. It comes straight out of my fridge, and like I said, if it's warmer out, I'll put it on ice on the way to the range. But today it's only 35 degrees out, so should be pretty optimal temperatures today for this test. And I do have it BB calibrated here. It's coming in at 3.25 inches, so pretty perfect calibration there. Of course, I have two blocks to capture the projectiles. First up, we'll do a round just with a layer of t-shirt, and then we'll do each through 4 layers of denim as well. And I'll have my chronograph situated here in the front, so hopefully we get some reads as they go into the block. I usually don't have an issue doing so. And then at the end of the video, we'll get retained weight and measurements on the expansion. All right, so if I get a read on the chrono, it is in front of the block there. I will show you guys, read it off something. So in order, I will go standard pressure, then the Plus P, and then we'll do the short barrel, which is Plus P. All 3 through the t-shirt, and then we'll flip the blocks around and then do all 3 through the denim. All right, good shot, good capture. Velocity read on that, 1233. I don't know why that was so high. That was out of the, I thought maybe I got them mixed up, but I didn't. That was out of the standard pressure there. And right there's the one I took, and on the back of these they do not say plus P or anything, as you can see, whereas the plus P box over here, they do say plus P. Oh, right there, plus P. So these are a little older, obviously, as mentioned with the packaging, but you know, they've been stored inside in a pretty temperature controlled area. So I know sometimes it seems like an oxymoron, but sometimes older sometimes older ammo actually can get hotter, for lack of better terms, where the powder degrades or changes in a manner that you get higher velocities. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe we'll get a different read when we flip it around and do it through the Denim, but regardless, that's what the chrono says. There's entry there. Those up top, pretty nice permanent cavity there. And these blocks are 11 to 12 inches long. Right there we sit, so probably about 13 or so penetration. Yeah, about 14 on the money there. And obviously, as you can see, of course, we'll take a closer look towards the end of the video. We do have full expansion there. Now, when I shot that, it did seem to have quite a bit of recoil. I mean, it could just be because that's my first shot of the day, so, you know, I'm still waking up over here. But I'll let you guys know how that compares to the plus P load. So if we get more recoil from the plus P, then it would seem that that was in fact pretty normal for a standard pressure. However, that velocity read on the chronograph, especially with that being a 3-inch barrel, that just does not line up. All right, on that one, a little higher, 1242, and the recoil did not feel any heavier or snappier or what have you. So I do believe for some reason that standard pressure one was for some reason a hot load, hotter than it should have been. So there was our first one, the standard pressure. There's the one I just took, the plus P. I zoomed in a little too much here. There's your cavity there. I'll try to get you a better angle in a second. And as you can see, near identical performance as it should be, because it was practically the same velocity. See what I get from here. There's from the side on that one. I'll hold it up to the sun for you guys in a second here. I mean, honestly, they are pretty close, but it actually looks like that first one there did just a hair more damage. I mean, but you can see down here, the pedals are peeled all the way back on that one too, so it looks like they both expanded about the same. So yeah, I don't know, guys. I can't explain that abnormality there with that first standard pressure. If we have room in the blocks when I'm done, I'll put another 1 or 2 in it, see if we get a lower velocity and see what kind of results. But for now, we're going to continue. Oh, and by the way, that said, those plus Ps, remember that's the newer packaging, so it's impossible for those to be more than like a few years old, because they just recently changed the packaging on those. That's coming in higher than advertised. Advertised is 1220. That's coming in 1242 out of a 3-inch. So, and I would say maybe that's just the thing with gold dots, that they load hotter than advertised. But I have tested gold dots before, out of those exact boxes even, and those standards do generally come in the 1100s. Matter of fact, I think my previous 9mm test, I did the 124 grain standard, and it was like 1100 some feet per second. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on today there with these readings. I would say maybe it was the chrono, but like I said, both shots felt exactly the same. You should notice a little more pop, a little more recoil with the plus P, and I did not. They felt the same. So all right, but anyways, so here we go with the short barrel version. All right, on that one, we did get a lower velocity, and surprisingly, it's just at about advertised 1142. They advertised 1150. So you see my entry there clearly. Well, this one. So there's entry. Man, sorry if my camera works kind of crappy today. I can't see it with this full sun. It's hard to see my screen back here. through my sunglasses. And, you know, it looks like it did about the same, so pretty good performance there. And penetration, just a little bit shallower there. So let me get a, well, if those were 14, then that's 13. And you guys should be able to see there, it looks like full expansion. Here's a good angle before we go to the denim. Sun's hitting it pretty nice there, so you can kind of see what each one did. Anyways, there's a good look for you guys, and let's get them flipped around and I'll get the denim set up. I am going to go ahead and pull these out though real quick. We'll examine them at the end, but last time I was out here I hit one of the other bullets that I left in the block. Definitely don't want that happening again today, so I'm going to go ahead and pull these out real quick. We'll get the blocks flipped around and get the denim set up. Alright, here we go with the 4 layers of denim. Follow the same order: standard pressure, plus P, and then the short barrel. Alright, so we do have some interesting results here. 1090. That's more like it. The recoil felt about the same, so I just don't know if I'm recoil insensitive to the differences in pressure or what. I don't know if that first read was off. I really doubt it. But 1090 on that, so that is a more makes more sense for a bullet advertised at 1150 coming out of a 3-inch barrel there. 1090, that's about right where it should be. But interestingly, surprisingly, through 4 layers of denim, and according to the chrono, lower velocity, still beautiful wound channel there, which would lead me to believe that it fully expanded. And it's kind of hard to see down there, but I can tell that it does appear to be at least mostly expanded. So we'll find out when we pull it out, but that's a pretty good result through denim there. And like I said, I had just put one of these. It was actually bonus footage, and I did a 9mm Extreme Defender video, and I'll actually go ahead and put a link in the description for that if you guys want to go check it out, whether you want to see the Defender test or if you want to compare this to the gold dot test that is the bonus footage at the end of that. If I recall correctly, didn't quite do that well through the denim. We got expansion was in the 50s. It did expand, but not like real big like what we just saw through the t-shirt layer there. So I'll put a link in the description of that video if you guys want to go check that out for comparison's sake. What's also interesting is the penetration depth here is quite a bit different than in that video. So penetrated further, I'll go ahead and tell you that, but the wound cavity looks better. So I don't know. Like I said, it's 35 degrees out here, but maybe this sun, I wouldn't think so because we got started right away, but maybe the sun's heating the block up a little bit. I'm not sure. But that core temperature should stay, you know, in the 30s there for quite a while, so I wouldn't think that's the issue. But the more telling story will be whatever this thing looks like and measures out to when we pull it out. Could just be the way of the bullet too. I've seen, you know, some gel tests where every single round will come in right next to each other very consistently, and then some bullets will vary by up to 3 or 4 inches on the penetration depths there. So maybe the gold dot's one of those. I'm not sure. I haven't put too many through the blocks yet. Huh. Interesting. So with the plus P, 1098. So again, it did come in higher than the standard pressure, but the numbers this time around are much lower on both the standard pressure and plus P than they were just a few minutes ago through the t-shirt layer. So I don't know what the heck's going on. Anyways, there's the impact. Wound cavity. Again, it's odd. Looks extremely similar, except for looks like there's a little less damage. So let's see what the bullet looks like. Maybe that'll be a telltale. Where is she? Down there. Of course, again, I do see some petal peeling, so we do have at least some expansion. Doesn't look like a whole lot though. Again, once we get them out of here, we'll get a better picture of what's going on. So what was that? 18 inches. So that's probably about 16 and a half right there. Looks like there's a little bounce back, so probably about 17 with the bounce back. Yep. And with the short barrel there, 1100s again, 1122. So I think the chrono's working just fine. I just think it's for some reason the standard pressure I got and even that newer box of Plus P, for some reason they're inconsistent. I don't know. And that's definitely not typical, because usually gold dots, from my understanding, are loaded pretty consistently, so I'm not sure what's going on there with mine. Anyways, you can see my entry there, third on the left. Right there we are. There's the wound cavity. Pretty nice. Looks better than the middle one. And where is our bullet? Ooh, clear out here. Interesting. I don't know if that had something to do with it kind of making contact with this previous cavity. I can tell you guys from the gel test I've watched, I've seen plenty of people put rounds in pretty much the exact same spot to where it goes through, not just a little bit like here, but like the entire thing from the same side, and they'll still end up right next to each other with the same expansion. So in my experience and from what I viewed, it doesn't make a difference. So I don't think that has anything to do with that extra penetration there. But for those who think it might, and because we got a little extra room here, I'll go ahead and take another one right next to it to stay out of that track there. But let's get a measurement real quick. I do see some peeling there, but hard to see because it's in that other wound channel there. And with this extra shot of the short barrel here, as if it's not already confirmed in my mind, you know, we come in 1100s again there, that should definitely confirm that the chrono is reading correctly, that the other two were just inconsistent for some reason. But with that said, they still expanded and did pretty good damage, so, you know, that's good. Well, that's clearly not right. It says 1900. I tried, guys, so I think maybe I'm just a little too close to it. If you didn't notice already, my blocks are pretty small compared to, you know, the big 8x8 16-inch long blocks. So generally I shoot a little closer, that way I can get good center shots here. But I guess in the future I'll just scoot back another yard or two. That's probably what's going on, is that we have some unburnt powder and whatnot flying over that and skewing the results a little bit. So that's not for sure the issue, but if it is and I caused it, then my apologies for that. But anyways, there's that shot. There's the wound cavity there. There's the bullet. Still pretty far on the penetration, but this one we can see pretty clearly, and I can tell you this because it didn't expand a whole lot, though it did expand. So penetration on these, I think I forgot to get a penetration depth on that one. 21 through the Denim short barrel, and then on the second one here came in lower, did not hit any of the other previous channels or cavities. It's coming in 19 3/4, and again, that extra penetration, you'll see when we pull them out, it's just because they didn't expand as wide as they did through the t-shirt. That is, typically all but the best of hollow points will not expand as much in the Denim as they do through either a bare block or just a single layer of t-shirt. I still like to practice the 4 layers of Denim because I think it's a good ultimate test to separate the elite ammunition from just good ammunition. But I know not everybody likes that, so that's why I started throwing in the t-shirt test as well. Here one day when I'm bigger and I have more funds available to do this kind of stuff and can do it on my own property, hopefully one day, I'll probably throw an intermediate test in there, like t-shirt and hoodie, like it seems I get so many comments on the channel. Because apparently thugs only wear a t-shirt and hoodie even in the middle of the winter when it's 20 degrees outside. Anyways, now that I'm done razzing you guys, let's get all these out here and we'll take a close-up look, retained weight, measurement, and whatnot, and we'll wrap this thing up. Also, by the way, guys, regardless of the inconsistencies in the chronograph readings there, I would like to point out that, you know, this did have pretty decent wound cavities. Some were actually really, really good, and then some through the Denim, like, you know, this one, that's probably our worst there, even though it didn't penetrate the furthest. But it's still a decent amount of damage considering that bullet didn't peel all the way back. But all the others, even through the Denim and then through the t-shirt, they're pretty nice wound channels. So regardless of what that chrono says and the different velocities that they are or are not coming in at, pretty effective round, even through the Denim, it would seem. And that's why gold dots are one of my all-time favorites, because everything I've seen, they generally perform pretty well in most calibers. I know there's a lot of die-hard HST fans out there. I did finally test one of those in 9mm not too long ago. By the way, check out the 9mm gel test playlist on the channel to catch all those and more. And one day here soon, I plan to have, I'll probably do gold dot versus the HST. I know everybody will enjoy those. Sorry for the sudden noise, by the way. I had some guys roll up next to me here and they are now shooting, so I'm trying to time this in between that to finish this up here for you. So here's all the pulled projectiles. We'll go over which is which. We'll get a retained weight, a measurement here. So in order, left to right is first, second, third, and first, second, third, fourth shot. So through the t-shirt, this is the standard pressure. This was the plus P, and then this was the short barrel. Then here, you got standard pressure through the denim, standard pressure, or excuse me, plus P through the denim. Then we got short barrel through the denim on those smaller diameters on the back there. So as you can see, the ones just through the t-shirt, they expanded quite a bit more. So that's why you'll get shallower penetration with those, and generally more damage, which the cavities did look slightly bigger, but I'm impressed that these still left the size cavities that they did for being so much smaller. There's a little close-up for you from the side there from all of those. And I'll go ahead and pick out what gelatin I can and get the jean material removed there, and we'll start getting weights and measurements. All right, well, we moved here a little bit. I was doing some practice shooting and whatnot, waiting for hopefully these other guys to leave, but they're still here, so I'll go ahead and continue here. If you guys want to get yourself one of these little scales, a micrometer, anything you see in the video, even the Nox gelatin I use, steel targets and more, links in the description. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing turned on here. Oh, I didn't press it hard enough. There we go. All right, so standard pressure through the t-shirt. There's a little t-shirt stuck on these. It's like fused to it. I couldn't get it off. Did get all the denim off though. 124.9. Keep in mind there is some gelatin trapped under those pedals, so that's why it's going to come in a little higher there. You know, if there's 100% weight retention, which obviously there was because it's coming in higher than 124. So then the plus P through the t-shirt, 125.8 grains, and then the short barrel through the t-shirt, 124.2. Standard pressure denim, plus P denim. First short barrel through the denim, and the second short barrel through the denim. Widest point on the one, the standard pressure through the denim, 0.527, so 52, almost 53 caliber. Plus P through the denim, widest point, 0.539. Short barrel, first one through the denim, 0.498. Second one there is about the same. I'm having difficulty getting it to hold that one for some reason. Standard pressure through the t-shirt, 0.618. The plus P through the t-shirt coming in slightly smaller at 0.596. All right, and then somewhat surprisingly, to me at least, the largest one there was the short-barreled version through the t-shirt, 0.641, but through the denim, as you just saw, those were the smallest diameter, yet through the t-shirt, they're the largest. All right, so anyways, that'll about do it there, guys. As I said, I'm not quite sure what was going on with the velocity reads there. The chrono is kind of old. I could probably use a replacement, although I'm not sure if that was the issue. Like I said, because of that one final shot came in at 1900, maybe I was just a little too close. Certainly on that one, something was up, but I'm not sure. But as I said in the video, regardless, you can see that it's pretty repeatable performance even across the 3 different variants we tried. So regardless of those readings, they all expanded pretty much the same in the t-shirt and pretty much the same in the jeans there. You know, they're all relatively close to one another. So regardless of any potential velocity errors that we got today, they all performed, it seems. As I said, obviously less expansion through the denim there, but that's the case with 90% of hollow points out there. Even the HSTs when I tested them a little while ago. Also, don't forget, link in the description for those Extreme Defenders that I mentioned if you wanted to go see the gold dot that I put through that block that day, because for some reason the penetration was less, although now that I'm thinking about it, I know I mentioned this earlier, I think the expansion might have been a little more through the denim in that video, so maybe that's why it didn't penetrate as far. I'm not sure. But anyways, there's a link in the description if you guys want to go check that video out. Anyways, I think I got a little bonus footage for you guys coming up for anyone who made it to the end. I appreciate that. I just recently started doing the channel membership and probably have, I don't know, Patreon or PayPal link in the description. If you guys want to help out, support the channel, help me grow and be able to post better videos for you guys, those are the methods you can do it, along with the super chats. Excuse me, not super chat, but super thanks under the video. So unfortunately, you're going to hear me mention those now, but as always, I appreciate y'all watching, and here's a little bonus footage if you made it to the end. I got 2 water-filled 2-liter bottles down there. I'm going to hit them each with the standard pressure. Not sure how. Yeah, I thought I nicked the edge of that one. Thought this one was a better hit, even though it was further. Well, yeah, looks like a center hit, just a little higher there. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you on the next one.